How's it, guys? Today we are going to install Kali Linux on our Windows 10 machine. How are we going to do that? We are first going to create a virtual machine on our Windows 10 machine, and then we are going to install Kali Linux on that virtual machine. The process sounds very complicated, but it is a lot easier than it sounds. The first thing we need to do is to see if our computer supports virtualization. We head over to the Task Manager. The shortcut key is Control, Shift and Escape. Make sure you are at the Performance tab and on CPU. And at the bottom it will say virtualization either enabled or disabled. If it says disabled there, reboot your machine, go into your BIOS setup and enable virtualization there. Now that virtualization is enabled, we open a web browser and we head over to VMware.com. We hover over downloads, we hover over free product downloads, and we click on Workstation Player. Now here at the bottom you can see try Workstation 16 Player for Windows. Don't be fooled by the word try. This is a fully fledged hypervisor you can use to create virtual machines. We click on download now. And our download will begin. The file is about 215 megabytes in size. Now VMware is the hypervisor we use to create virtual machines. It will allocate system resources like CPU time, memory and hard disk space to virtual machines that you install. Now this download will take quite a while, so you can pause the video and get back as soon as you are done. Now that your download has completed, we can navigate to where we downloaded the file. Here is VMware Player 16. We can double click on the file to start the install process. Do you want to allow this app to make changes? We select yes. Welcome to the setup wizard. We click on next. We accept the terms in the license agreement. We click on next. Now here's two options. The enhanced keyboard driver will enable you to use the Control-Alt-Delete key combination inside your virtual machine. It is not a necessity to have this. I just leave it off and I leave selected Add VMware Workstation Console Tools into System Path. We click on Next. I leave selected Check for product updates on startup, and I deselect Join the VMware Customer Experience Improvement Program. We click on Next. We create shortcuts to our desktop and start menu. We click on Next and Install to begin the installation. Once your installation is completed, you click on Finish. And just to have a quick look, when we open VMware Workstation, we can see here's the options: create a new virtual machine and open a virtual machine. We are going to do neither right now. We close over here. We open our web browser again and we go and download the Kali ISO. We go to kali.org. We hover over downloads and download Kali Linux. Now here is a whole bunch of downloads. The ones we are looking at is either Kali Linux 64-bit installer or the Kali Linux 32-bit installer. Now, to find out if you have a 32-bit or a 64-bit machine, go to the Start menu and right-click and open System. And here at the bottom, you will see system type. Mine says 64-bit operating system, x64 based processor. If you were running a 32-bit system, it would have said 32-bit operating system, x86 based processor. So we can close that. So now that we know our system architecture, we select the correct download. I am going to download the 64-bit version. And as you can see, it is quite a big download of 4.1 gigabytes. So you can pause the video right here and get back as soon as your download has completed. Now that our download has completed, we can close here and open VMware Workstation. We click on Create a new virtual machine. We select Installer Disk Image File and we browse to where we have just downloaded our Kali Linux installation files. Mine's over here. We say Open and click on Next. Here we select Linux and we select Other Linux 5.x and later. We click on Next. We select a nice friendly name for the computer. And we browse to where we want to install our virtual machine. I like to install mine over here. And give it a friendly name. Click on Next. Over here we need to boost the hard drive size to about 20 gigabytes. We click on Next. Here at Customize Hardware, we need to boost the memory. 768 megabytes is a bit too little for Kali. You are going to need at least 2 gigabytes. If you have more than enough memory to spare, say for example, you are running a system with 16 gigabytes, you can allocate 4 gigabytes here. I am running 16, so I'm going to allocate 4 gigabytes, but your system should still work fine with 2 gigabytes of memory. I close here and I say finish. Now that our virtual machine has been created, we double click to start it up. Over here we select graphical install. We select our language, continue. I am in South Africa, continue, and I have an American English keyboard, continue. At hostname, you can select a computer name for your system. I would like to use the hostname of Diamond. At domain name, we can just leave that blank. Now select a new username. I'm just going to say clip, and the logon name for this user I'm going to also leave at clip. We select a nice and secure password. Click on continue. At Partition Disks, we select guided, use entire disk, continue. We select the only disk that is available, continue. We select all files in one partition, continue. And over here we say finish partitioning and write changes to disk. Confirm write changes to disk, we say yes and continue. Now it is installing the base Kali system. After this, we are going to select all of the optional extras that comes with Kali. Now I usually do not install all of the optional extras. I usually leave those out and only install what I need. Otherwise the operating system becomes bloated very quickly, especially at the time when you decide to update your system. All of those packages you never use will be updated with the ones you actually use, wasting a lot of time. Here we are at the software selection screen. I want to keep the desktop environment XFCE, and I want to deselect collection of tools and everything that goes with it. I select continue. Install the Grub bootloader to your primary drive. Make sure yes is selected. Click on continue. We select the only disk that is available. We say continue. And our installation is complete. When we select continue now, it will automatically reboot into our new installation. And here we can see Kali Linux is successfully starting up for the very first time. We'll log in with the credentials we specified earlier. I chose the username of clip and a secure password. And there is our new installation. We can go into full screen mode, and this will be as if we are running Kali natively, although we are running in a virtual machine. The installation is almost finished. We still need to update this installation though. We open the terminal emulator Let me just open this nice and big so everyone can see. I'm going to press Control Plus just to make it a little bigger. Now first we need to update the package manager database. We do that by saying sudo, which gives us escalated privileges. We run the command apt, which is our package manager, and we say update. You type in the password. This is the password you specified earlier, and it will update the package manager. Now when that has updated, we run the command sudo apt upgrade, and we hit enter. We are going to need 167 megabytes of additional disk space. We select yes and hit enter. This should also take quite a while, so you can pause the video right here and come back as soon as the update has completed. And now that our update has completed, we can close this terminal window. And if we open the file system, we can see there is a bug in Kali. The folder could not be opened, failed to execute child process. We close this. And if we click on the terminal icon, we can see here's another error, failed to launch preferred application for category terminal emulator. This is a bug that Kali currently has. Hopefully by the time that you watch this video, this bug has been sorted out. This can be quickly resolved by clicking on the whisker menu and typing in terminal, and we go to the mate terminal, and we just again run sudo apt update. And now we run sudo apt upgrade, but we add the switch -- auto remove. We say yes, and that is it. If we close over here, now we restart our machine. And when we log in, we can see that the file system now opens, as well as the terminal emulator. And that is it for the installation of Kali Linux. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you.